For the first time in half a decade, the Miami women's basketball team has made the journey north. In March, the RedHawks are back in the Mid-American Conference Tournament for the first time since 2020. And Miami will play as the 5 seed in the 4-5 game as the second game of the conference tournament against the Golden Flashes of Kent State, the defending champions and 4 seed, in which the RedHawks split the regular season series with in the first few months of the MAC slate. Luke West Poley with you, flying solo today from Cleveland. We'll have coverage for you all week in what we only hope can be a lengthy run through the Mid-American Conference Tournament for both the Miami men's and women's teams. Kathan Babu and Andrew Relvis will join us in the coming days. Miami closes out the regular year 19-10 on the season. RedHawks finish 5th in the Mid-American Conference under second-year head coach Glenn Box. For Kent State, after winning this league last year and upsetting the Ball State Cardinals that appeared to be the runaway favorites, Golden Flashes have receded a little bit this year, but still a strong regular season and an offensive team that can score with the best of them in the league. 20-11 are the Golden Flashes, who took the first of 2 meetings on the road at Miami on January 25th. The Flashes, who have only missed the MAC tournament in its current format once, but have played in the postseason in some way, shape, or form in every season under that span and under Todd Starkey. They missed the tournament in 2021-22, but competed in the WNIT in that same season. Golden Flashes enter averaging just under 74 points per game, good enough for second in the league. And they are taking on a Miami team that is the best scoring defense in the MAC, giving up 58 points a game. That is not only tops in the league, but just outside the top 50 nationally. Starting lineups for the Kent State Golden Flashes in a veteran-heavy lineup. It's a couple of sophomores, Maya Bobbitt and Janae Taylor, that will work for Kent State alongside 3 upper-class players. Deanna Gray, the junior, with Bridget Dunn, and the first-team All-MAC selection from Greater Cincinnati, Jenna Batch, are the starting 5 for Todd Starkey, who's been with Kent State since 2016. He is a former assistant with the Indiana Hoosiers. Same can be said for Glenn Box on the other side, and he has made a tweak to his starting lineup. Tamar Singer, Amber Trenner, Maya Chandler, and Angelina Gonzalez, the same 4 that we are used to for the RedHawks. However, he is going with the veteran Katie Richardson, 5th year from Zionsville, Indiana, to play up front alongside Amber Treader instead of Ilse DeFries, the freshman who has generally taken those responsibilities this season. Kent State is in the white uniforms, Miami in the reds as the road team, and the tip-off is won here by the Golden Flashes, playing up in the northeastern part of the state near their home. There is a kickball, though, off a deflection by Angelina Gonzalez, and the RedHawks will begin the game on defense. From left to right go the Golden Flashes, and motoring all the way to the basket goes Deanna Gray to lay it in with the right hand. Gray averaging just about 8 points per game for this team that is really led offensively by Jenna Bash, who averages over 17 and was a first-team All-MAC selection. Speaking of first-teamers, Angelina Gonzalez, Miami's first-teamer, carves her way into the paint. Floater fell off the left side of the rim, gets an offensive rebound, though, and slips a pass to the back door where Katie Richardson was waiting, and she will lay it in. Tied up at 2, less than a minute in here at the Mid-American Conference Tournament in Rocket Arena in Cleveland, as it is tossed out of bounds. An unforced error there from Deanna Gray, who was looking to skip it to Jenna Batch in the corner. Or check that, rather, that was Maya Babbitt that was waiting on the far side, but just missed her, and it went out of bounds. Miami forces turnovers as well as some of the best in the entire country, and they do it there. Now Amber Treader will cut loose a left wing 3 early in the shot clock, and that'll nick off the backside of the rim. Rebound picked up by the Golden Flashes. Jenna Batch holding out near the corner of the MAC logo here at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, home of the Cavaliers and the Cleveland Monsters. Flipped back up top near the edge of the logo. Maya Babbitt comes off a screen right, steps it back, lets loose a 3, and rattles it in. Maya Babbitt with the first shot from deep for Kent State. And the Golden Flashes move in front 90 seconds in. It's 5-2. Richardson up top for Tamar Singer. Israeli freshman who's had an excellent first campaign in college. Takes it right of the key and pushes across for Angelina Gonzalez on the near side. 10 on the timer. Thought about the mid-range jumper. Instead, she'll go to the corner. Maya Chandler's three from there off the mark. And the rebound picked up by Deanna Gray for Kent State. Gray dribbling the ball between her right and left hands. Takes one step left and flings to the flank. Bridget Dunn will put it back up top. Now it is Babbitt with a touch pass underneath. Caught and finished. It is Bridget Dunn in the paint to score it for the Golden Flashes. 7:44 to go in the first quarter of play. Golden Flashes by 5 here from Cleveland. Gonzalez down the right alley, pulls up behind the elbow and gets a couple friendly bounces off the back iron and in for Gonzalez, who's got her first points of the game. Freshman Ilse DeFries gets ready to check in for the RedHawks. Meanwhile, from left to right go the Golden Flashes, and it's Bridget Dunn from the far side of the logo. Dunn being blanketed up top by Amber Treader. Now she'll dump it off for Batch. Batch makes her way just inside the key and cut loose a floater with her foot on the line. Wouldn't go, but the rebound tapped out of bounds by Miami, and it'll stay with Kent State. Shot clock resets up to 20, and now we see Ilse DeFries enter for the RedHawks, the freshman who's been their usual starter, surfing kind of the dual 4/5 role for Miami. Baseline inbound for Kent State. It's thrown away by Deanna Gray, and it did not take a deflection. It just heads out of bounds up the sideline near Glenn Box, Miami's second-year head coach. And so the RedHawks will inbound from their defensive baseline following the stop. Miami's already forced a couple of turnovers. RedHawks are third in the MAC in turnover margin, although that does not tell the full story. They sit 10th in the MAC in terms of turning the ball over on the offensive end. They force a ton of turnovers on the other side as well. They're +4 on the season in turnover margin per game. From the right wing, it is Chandler. The SMU transfer cuts it across, pulls up for the MAC logo, missed it off the back rim, and the rebound is hauled away from the pile by Bridget Dunn, the Carmel, Indiana native for Kent State. On the right side of the floor, off a screen goes Gray, powering down the alley, up the baseline, she'll kick. Dunn, wide open three from the far corner, drops in. Dunn has been effective early with a couple of baskets. She's 2 for 2 from the field, and Kent State leads at 10-4 with 6:17 to go in the first quarter. One-on-one, Treader with a turnaround from 5 feet, and she knocks it through. Amber Treader, an honorable mention in the Mid-American Conference this season. The sophomore has receded a little bit in terms of scoring the basketball this year, but just because she hasn't had to as much with more talent offensively on this Miami team, has her first basket there. She gets a deflection, but Dunn's able to regather out near the logo. She'll carry it up to the free throw line and lift up a runner from there that falls off the left side of the rim. Rebound by Treader and the RedHawks. Now ahead it's Gonzalez. Bounce pass to the corner. Chandler open three off the heel. Rebound to the weak side, and it is pulled away by Kent State. Deanna Gray up ahead, diagonally cuts through the center of the paint. DeFries, though, strips it away from her, and it hits off the leg of Gray and out of bounds. And the Golden Flashes will again lose possession after their third turnover. Ilse DeFries will get credit for the steal as Miami will go to the bench. DeFries and Treader off for the RedHawks. Katie Richardson returns to the floor, and Corey Lard makes her first appearance of the MAC tournament. Second-year RedHawk and JUCO transfer making her first appearance in Cleveland. Gonzalez from the right elbow extended. Shimmy shake, hop step into the lane. Bounce pass back up top for Chandler between the legs on the dribble. Stops at the free throw line. Wrap to the near block where it is Richardson shouldering in. Kick out Lard. Straightaway three. Pops out. Rebound by Gray for the Golden Flashes. Lead pass ahead for Journey Hildebrand, the freshman. Off to the back door. Found a teammate wide open in Janae Tyler, but she couldn't finish it. Wide open under the basket, and the RedHawks end up with it. Gonzalez races down the right lane, tosses it high off the window and in. A blind shot there for Gonzalez, who couldn't face up towards the basket, but doesn't matter for one of the MAC's best scorers. as it's 10-8 Kent State with 4:28 to go in the first half. Looks like a RedHawk tripped and fell on the far side. That's Chandler, and I think she'll be called for the foul, trying to reach in for a steal. And that'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. Early goings here in Cleveland, 4:28 to go first quarter. Kent State in front of Miami, 10-8 in the 4-5 game of the quarterfinals at the Mid-American Conference Basketball Championship. We're back to Rocket Arena in a moment. You're listening to Miami Basketball on RedHawk Radio. Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, the site for the 4-5 game between Miami and Kent State in the first round of the Mid-American Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. 10-8 Golden Flashes, 4:28 to go first half. Luke Poley with you. Glad you could join me here on this Wednesday afternoon from the northeastern part of the Buckeye State. Following the foul, Golden Flashes have it on the offensive end, and a rip move to the inside for Janae Tyler, but she can't put it in over the defense by Katie Richardson, and the RedHawks grab the rebound. Miami has not led in this game. They'll have a chance to try and tie it up here, or maybe take the lead as Chandler unloads a far side three and splashes it. And Miami does have their first lead just over 6 minutes into the game. It's 11-10 RedHawks all the way to the basket. Again, a strong take for Deanna Gray, and she'll get fouled, trying to ensure that lead is short-lived for the RedHawks. Corey Lard will pick up the foul for Miami, and that will send Deanna Gray, the junior from Huntington, West Virginia, to the free throw line. Gray, who in the latest meeting against Miami had 12 points for the Golden Flashes and has had a lot of activity on the offensive end thus far for Kent State. And she will bury the first free throw to tie the game at 11. Miami has brought Nuria Herho onto the floor to take the place of Maya Chandler, who's been working hard. She'll get a chance to take a seat. Herho, the sophomore guard, hasn't scored a ton for this RedHawk team, more so known for her rebounding ability as a guard. Second free throw is missed, so the game will stay tied, and it's Richardson with the board for Miami. Richardson getting some extended minutes. Glenn Box has said she's someone that has deserved it the way she's practiced the last few weeks. Starting her third game of the season here today. Herho under the basket, trying to hand off Richardson. It was batted away and picked up by Bridget Dunn for the Golden Flashes. Gray dribbles it right, handoff on the wing for Hildebrand. Swung around to the far side of the arc for Bridget Dunn. Surveys the floor, back to the near side, Gray, and now it is Bash. Catch and shoot from the near side, won't go. Offensive board picked up by Kent State's Janae Tyler, but she will get packed up by Nuria Herho, who puts two hands on the basketball and does draw the held ball. And possession arrow is in favor of Miami. Maya Babbitt coming back onto the floor for Kent State. And meanwhile, it is the RedHawks taking it from right to left, with the freshman Tamar Singer running the point. One-hand pass to the near wing, caught with a leap by Corey Lard. Lard shimmy shakes, spins into the lane, and laid it a little bit short from the left block. Rebound for the Golden Flashes, pushing ahead. Pump fake by Babbitt, cuts across the paint, and found Tyler, who lost the basketball. RedHawks move it forward. Shot fake for Herho. Miami into a half-court set. It's Gonzalez racing down the center of the paint. High right-handed attempt. Went a little too far off the glass, but she got fouled. And that will send Angelina Gonzalez, a 74% free throw shooter, to the free throw line. So Angelina Gonzalez will go to the free throw line. Gonzalez, the transfer from Mercer. On the other side, a few transfers for Kent State, but really the core of this Golden Flash team, when you look at who's taking the bulk of the minutes, is from players developed in-house by Todd Starkey, who's been with Kent State since 2016. Gonzalez misfires on the first free throw. These two coaches both moved into their current jobs after a stint as assistants at Indiana, although Starkey was out the door right as Glenn Box moved in from St. Louis. Second free throw made by Gonzalez to lift Miami back in front. Box's first year, the 16-17 season with the Hoosiers. After the 2016 season, Starkey departed for this Kent State head coaching job. 2:22 to go in the first quarter of play here from Cleveland. It is Miami 12 and Kent State 11. Gray off a screen, head straight away, tosses up a three, left it short. Rebound to Chandler, came down a little bit awkwardly, but looks to be fine as she bounds it up the floor and crosses the MAC logo. Hand off to Tamar Singer, behind the back on the dribble, picks it up at the right elbow. She'll fling to the edge for Herho, now back for Singer in the far corner. Bounce to the far block. It is Treader. Tried to turn around on a shot. She got stuffed by Bridget Dunn and got the loose ball, but was tied up in the process. It'll be a jump ball, and now possession arrow with Kent State. Minute 52 to go, first quarter. Winner on to face the top seed Ball State in the semifinals on Friday. Miami leads Kent State 12-11. Deanna Gray controlling things from up top. To the far side, it is Babbitt. And we'll have an offensive foul call on the interiors. Kent State was just holding the ball out near the logo. Foul goes against Jenna Batch, the leading scorer for the Golden Flashes, that Miami has done a good job quieting. In this first quarter, she does not have a point yet, and 0 of her 3 attempts from the field. Tamar Singer will carry it from right to left for the RedHawks, dribbling at waist high with the left hand. Now she heads right. Step out to cover her on the wing. RedHawks reverse to the near side. It is Herho, short corner left, back straightaway Treader. She'll dish for Chandler, back for Treader in the paint. Bumps, fades from 10 feet. Missed it on the right side. Got her own rebound, though, and the RedHawks will swing it out for a Chandler three right of the key, and she drills it. Maya Chandler with a couple of three-point makes. She's got half a dozen points to lead all scorers in the game, and the RedHawks are in front by 4 with 52 seconds to go in the first. Bash, long 2 for the left wing, rattles home. There are the first points for Jenna Bash, coming off a 27-point game on senior night. Averages 17 for the Golden Flashes. Treader with a contested 3. That wouldn't go. Golden Flashes pick it up. Shot clock still a factor as Gray drives it in, pushes it back out. Bash a 3. Pops in and out. Excuse me, rather, that was Babbitt who had the attempt, and the RedHawks grab the rebound. Miami racing it ahead with the shot clock dark. And a right side layup was missed by Treader. She went crashing down. And Glenbox looked like wanted a foul call but did not get it. Now the shot clock is dark, and Kent State down 2 points with under 8 seconds to go. Dribbling to the left side. Bash, long 2, left way short, airballed off of her attempt from just underneath the key. Kent State has taken quite a few shots with their feet on or just underneath the line today, and it went out of bounds. RedHawks just inbound and don't even bother to put a shot up. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Slugfest, but overall, Miami with the early edge after 10 minutes. RedHawks in front 15-13 as we head into the second quarter from Rocket Arena in Cleveland. We're back after this. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. On to quarter number 2 here from Rocket Arena, home of the Cavs in Cleveland, Ohio. Miami leads Kent State 15-13. That first quarter played pretty much how the RedHawks wanted it to be played, as Miami prefers the low-scoring efforts to the run-and-gun style of the Golden Flashes, and the RedHawks had slightly better of the play with the one-possession lead after 10 minutes, and they'll start quarter number 2 on offense. From the left side, it is Maya Chandler. Back and forth on her dribble. She will sidestep right and pick up her dribble on the right side of the key. Now Richardson Skips at free throw line, Schroeder to the right side. Chandler with 7 on the timer. Spins and swings. Schroeder a 3 from straight away. Off the back iron. Long rebound out near the three-point arc, and it is scooped up by Jenna Batch for Kent State. Deanna Gray bolts to the inside. Now a touch pass back up top. It is Batch. High ball into the post for Tyler. Spins, doubled on the block, throws it to the back door, and wide open from there. Babbitt will catch it and knock it off the window and in to tie the game at 15. 9:03 to go in the second quarter. Miami back on the left side of the floor. That's the offensive end. Richardson from up top. Feeds right side for Gonzalez. Thought about the wraparound into the post for Schroeder. Decided better of it. Back to the outside. 10 on the clock, it's Chandler. Racing down the left side of the paint, and her two-hand scoop shot attempt well short. And Miami called for a foul on the rebound. Richardson will pick it up. She has played some pretty big minutes in this game already, as she has played 7 for a player that was mostly a reserve piece for the bulk of the regular season, with 27 of her 29 appearances off the bench. All the way to the inside, Deanna Gray got stuffed as she met the towers underneath the basket in Schroeder and Richardson. It'll go out of bounds and stay with Kent State with 11 seconds gone on the shot clock. Inbound to the short corner on the far side. Tyler spins into some space and will toss it up and in. Janae Tyler, who did not play for the Golden Flashes their last time out against Toledo on senior night, back into the lineup and puts the Golden Flashes back in front, 17-15 with 8:08 to go in quarter number 2. Singer, driving kick, right wing 3, Gonzalez, you bet. Miami starting to pick up the three-point making a little bit. The first made by a player other than Maya Chandler, but the RedHawks are back in front. It's 18-17 with 7:49 to go in the first half. Handoff on the left wing for Gray. Slots it into the paint for Tyler, who bonked it off the middle of the window and right into the arms of 2 RedHawks waiting for the rebound. Miami will outlet it ahead for Angelina Gonzalez. Overhead pass to the far wing. Tamar Singer, crossover. She will kick it to the near corner, extra to the wing. Chandler can't hit the 3, but the rebound tapped in the air and secured by Tamar Singer. No look pass to the free throw line, and Richardson can't hit the jumper. Kent State finally with the rebound. Batch spins into the paint. Looked like a shot that got partially tipped, but fell right to her teammate. And Janae Tyler, who got fouled under the basket trying to shoot. And she will go to the free throw line. Looked like a shot there for Batch and not a pass attempt into the post, but it found Tyler nonetheless under the hoop, and she draws the foul. That's the second against Richardson. So she will come off the floor for Ilsa to freeze. In addition, Miami will bring Corey Lard back on for Tamar Singer. Janae Tyler will bury the first free throw. She's just a 55% free throw shooter, but that is her 100th attempt of the season. Gets to the line a fair amount, due for a few times a game, and she misses on the second one, right on par with season averages. Rebound tapped out of bounds by Kent State. Golden Flashes 7 for 18 from the floor, mostly from inside the arc, just 5 attempts from 3. They've made 2 of them. One of the best offensive teams in the Mid-American Conference from all 3 levels. To the back door, Gonzalez with a great find to DeFries, who puts it in with 2 hands. Gonzalez created that herself with crafty dribbling, drew some attention, and found the freshman awaiting on the backside. 2018 Miami with 6:41 to go. Batch drives baseline. The up and under fell too strong, but the putback by Tyler drew a foul. She's a little slow to get up already with a brace on her left shoulder, which she wears over the long sleeve shirt underneath her jersey. And looked like she fell down hard on that left side, but is helped to her feet and will go to the line for some more free throws. Went 1 of 2 the first time around. Sophomore to Lansing, Michigan. Knocks down the first of the pair. Tyler, who averages just over 20 minutes on the year, has been on and off the floor. She makes the second one as well, and she will come off, giving way for Riley Rissmiller. The Dayton transfer for the Golden Flashes that will take her spot. Todd Starkey has been liberally using his bench in this game. He's constantly been subbing players on and off the floor. Both teams really have utilized their bench well in this one. As the RedHawks were carrying it on the outside and Gonzalez was holding on, Miami's called for a 3-second violation. And so the RedHawks will cough it up. Just the second time Miami has given it away in this game compared to the Golden Flash's 6 turnovers. Check that, the 3rd turnover for the RedHawks, but still positive in the turnover department. It's been an area of focus for this Miami team this year. Again, we mentioned how relentless they are defensively. They're one of the best at in the MAC at forcing turnovers, but a problem has been they counteract that by committing many turnovers of their own. 10th out of 12 teams in terms of most turnovers committed. Turnaround from the far side wouldn't fall in for Rissmiller. RedHawks have the rebound. Gonzalez stops at the free throw line. Miami will reset outside. Chandler weaves through 3 Golden Flashes and buries the mid-range floater. So Maya Chandler drills it to put Miami back in front, 22-20. Had 3 white jerseys and a triangle around her. And the SMU transfer still got it. 5:35 to go first half. RedHawks remain in front for now. Neither team has put much air into their leads as Bash bullies down the right side and will clatter it home from 10 feet. 4 points for Jenna Bash. Just 2 for 8, though, from the field, and Miami will certainly take that for a first-team All-MAC selection in Batch. Free throw line jumper just shaded left for Maya Chandler off the back of the iron. Rebound by Kent State. Bounce pass into the post, initially deflected away from Rissmiller. Gets the loose ball away from DeFries, and will toss it back outside. Deanna Gray between the legs on her dribble. It is sent up top and then tossed into the paint. But the RedHawks will steal it away, and now running up the floor, Chandler again will just beeline to the free throw line and cut loose a mid-range jumper. She won't hit it. The game stays tied at 22 as the Golden Flashes bring it across the timeline. Miami with 4 more attempts from the field than Kent State due to the turnovers they've forced. Golden Flashes with a slight advantage on the glass. Bash behind the back on the dribble, had it knocked away by Tamar Singer. Miami with some trouble getting it off the deck, but it is Angelina Gonzalez that'll pick it up for the RedHawks. Singer and DeFries, the 2 freshmen, have had really active hands on the defensive end of the floor. And Miami already with 5 steals in this game. Gonzalez from the free throw line tried to spin. It was partially tipped away. She regathers, turnaround jumper from just underneath the elbow. Wouldn't fall. Just a hair too strong, and Gray's got the rebound for the Golden Flashes. Under 4 to play first half. Media timeout coming at the next dead ball. All tied up at 22 between Miami and Kent State. And as Gray began her drive, she was fouled from behind by Tamar Singer. That'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. 3:49 to go first half. All square at 22. Miami and Kent State, 2 teams that have split the season series to date, meeting for the first time in the MAC tournament since the early 2000s. We'll return to Rocket Arena after this. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Late stages first half, 3:49 to go, quarter two. It is 22-22 between Miami and Kent State. Defensive slugfest so far. It's been nearly 2 minutes since either team has scored, as Kent State has it on the offensive end, looking to retake the lead. They led for much of the first quarter. It has been Miami, though, that has been in front for more of the second. Down the right side, dribble picked up by Babbitt, puts it outside with 2 on the timer and 1. Logo 3, hoisted up by Gray off the underside of the rim, and it falls right to Janae Tyler on the rebound for the putback. Tyler had inside positioning, but that ball off the 3 hit directly on the bottom of the rim and just deflected right to her. Now DeFries trying to answer with a 3. And that will not go for the RedHawks as Gray picks up the rebound. So Kent State leads it with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's 24-22, Golden Flashes. Batch dribbled in, then stepped back, fought near side 3. It goes. And check that, excuse me, that was Maya Babbitt that had the 3-pointer for Kent State, and that'll make it a 5-point Golden Flash lead, 27-22 with 2:38 to go in quarter number 2. From the far corner, baseline drive for Chandler, and at the face of the basket, she leaves the lay-in attempt short. Rebound by the Golden Flashes, and Miami does not match up in transition, and a 3 is drilled by Bridget Dunn. So the RedHawks have fallen asleep defensively on the last couple possessions, and credit Kent State. They have made the RedHawks pay. It's now an 8-point Golden Flash lead, and Amber Treader off a nice feed from Tamar Singer misses a wide open layup again. That's now about 6 to 8 points that Miami has left at the basket in the first half. They trail it by 8. Gray inside the arc, goes up the baseline, tried to go up and under. She got stuffed by Ilsa DeFries. Gets her own loose ball, though. Kick out to the far side, and the 3 splash down for Maya Babbitt. And it's an 11-point Kent State lead. Angelina Gonzalez heads all the way in, and that gets swatted away. And now Kent State will slow things down. They lead it by 11, largest lead of the game. 3 put up on the far side. It rattles home for Maya Babbitt. Timeout Miami. Things have unraveled as Kent State goes on a 16-0 run over the last 4.5 minutes. And they have opened up the first double-digit lead of the game. That's currently up to 14 with 1:28 to go in the first half. So disastrous events for this Miami team. We did such a good job at stifling Kent State, but this has been a big issue for a young RedHawk team as they have undergone stretches of just a few minutes that have been the difference in winning and losing games when you look up and down the schedule. A lot of that has been credited to some stretches in which they've been really unable to score. And the same could be said right now. 4 minutes and 25 seconds since Miami's last bucket. And 16 Golden Flash points scored over that same span as they now lead it by 14. The defending champions in the MAC, who have brought some key pieces back. Kent State threatened to knock off potential runaway favorite Ball State again. They'll have to get through Miami first, but a strong last few minutes to aid the efforts for the Golden Flashes. Back out of the timeout, RedHawks with it. 1:15 to go in the first half. Treader turns it around, skip to the far corner. 3 up for Singer, no good. RedHawks, though, get the rebound. Corey Lard again will skip. Maya Chandler, right wing 3, and that'll drop. Needed that one if you're Miami. Maya Chandler with 11 first half points off 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, and the RedHawks are within 11. On the inside, triple teamed. Tyler leans through it, puts it up with the right hand, but missed it off the side of the iron. RedHawks with the rebound. Gonzalez sets the screen. Chandler off balance jumper from the free throw line goes in and out. And Kent State's got the rebound. 36 seconds remaining in the half, and no sense for the Flashes to go quick here as they will settle on the right wing. Batch puts it up top for Gray. She'll walk it around the arc and hand back off for Batch, who lost the basketball on the wing. Chandler will take it up the floor. The fast break, and she left the layup off the front of the rim, and a tie-up on the rebound. And possession is in favor of Kent State. Wow. Really just indicative of how this latest stretch has gone for Miami. Maya Chandler was pretty much the only player past the center court MAC logo for either team on that fast break and missed the layup. And that's now, you could count really 10 points worth of easy ones that Miami has not buried in the half, and they trail it by 11. Shot clock off, and Kent State with the chance for a final shot. Gray up top with 4. Tries to head inside, batted away. Gray regathers, bounces it off, and the 3 is nailed by Bridget Dunn at the buzzer. Miami was swarming on Gray. She almost rolled that bowling style on the court. And the RedHawks with another breakdown as they fail to pick up Dunn outside the three-point arc. And Kent State with a tidal wave type of run down the stretch of the first half. 21-5, they outscore the RedHawks over the half's final 7 minutes. And they lead the RedHawks 39-25 at the break. So we will step aside here from Rocket Arena. Work to do for Miami in a must-win game in March. You're listening to the MAC Tournament. Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Miami's got their work cut out for them here in the second half. Single elimination in the MAC tournament. And in the quarterfinals, it is Kent State that leads 39-25 after 20 minutes here from Rocket Arena in Cleveland. Luke Poley back with you from the home of the Cavaliers. Miami had the better, you could say, slightly the first 13 minutes or so of that half, but the RedHawks collapsed down the stretch of the first two quarters, with Miami suffering a 21-5 run over the final 7 minutes of the half. And now the RedHawks go from leading by as many as 4 points and leading for the early part of that second quarter to now trailing by double digits plus at halftime. Just about a minute to go until we get started with our second half of play. And for the RedHawks, getting dominated right now on the glass, as Kent State is plus 12 in terms of rebounding margin, 27-15. A large part of that is due to Miami missing a fair amount of shots. RedHawks are just 29% from the floor. However, the Golden Flashes have 7 offensive rebounds to Miami's 11 on their defensive glass. So Kent State has been very competitive under the RedHawk basket for loose balls. And the Golden Flashes, after not taking many threes, they were just 2 for 5 before they began that run, finished the half 7 for 11 from beyond the arc. As a team, Kent State is 5 of their last 6 from 3, and the Golden Flashes had 2 double-digit scores in the first half, those being Bridget Dunn and Maya Babbitt. Miami did do a pretty good job of quieting down Jenna Batch. She had just 4 points in the first half. They'll have to continue that and try to spread that defensive effort to other areas of the floor as we get going in half number 2. Underway here in the third quarter with Miami going left to right in the red uniforms. RedHawks start on offense, and it's Maya Chandler from just beyond the left elbow that will feed to the near side. Amber Treader lost the ball, had to run it down in front of Glenn Box on the Miami bench. Chandler spins it into the lane, scoops it up top. Treader wide open, 3 is perfect. Great way to start the second half for the RedHawks offensively, as they took virtually the entire shot clock there to get their best shot, and Treader buries the 3. Gray, meanwhile, goes coast to coast and threw it off the underside of the basket, and on the rebound, tipped out of bounds by one of 2 Flashes in there going for the board, either Gray or Janae Tyler. So the RedHawks will win possession and now have a chance to cut this back to a single-digit lead, 39-28. Kent State, just over 45 seconds gone by in the third quarter. Treader far side, extra pass to the elbow extended. Gonzalez cuts diagonally across the paint, buries it on the near block, and one. As she got fouled, and Gonzalez puts it home. Felt like a pretty quiet first half, although she did have 8 points. And so for Gonzalez, with that make, she'll be the second RedHawk into double digits behind Maya Chandler, who finished the first half with 11. And now Maya Chandler will go to the free throw line. Went 1 of 2 in her first trip and finds the net on her second trip with the lone free throw to complete 3 points the old-fashioned way and get Miami within 8. 39-31, Kent State. RedHawks hoping for another stop here. It is Tyler, heads across the paint and spins it back to the near side. She gets fouled as she tried to duck underneath. And we'll see who they get here. It'll be Katie Richardson, who was in the area, and that'll be her 3rd. So the RedHawks will have to bring Ilsa DeFries back on to the floor. Miami much preferred the usage of DeFries in the regular season to Katie Richardson until the end of the year. That was when Richardson started to score more. Richardson averaging just 5 and 3 on the season, as that puts Janae Tyler on the free throw line with the foul. She connects on the first free throw, and it has 8 points now on the game. But again, Ilsa DeFries, she dealt with some illness, and after starting 26 games for Miami, missed some time. Second free throw made as well by Tyler. It's back to a 10-point lead. And since DeFries has returned from that illness, Richardson played well in her absence, and it's really been Richardson that has taken the bulk of those minutes moving forward. Back to the offensive end. Chandler with a near corner three. Left somewhat alone. She missed it long, but in chasing down the rebound, Kent State gave it away. But now the RedHawks will give it right back as DeFries was trapped in the corner, and she threw it right to the Golden Flashes as Babbitt tried to run out in transition. That ball got punched from her grasp from behind and will fly out the baseline. Kent State will keep possession and will set up in the half court off the inbound. Handoff up top for Gray. Former Gatorade Player of the Year in West Virginia. Gets it to the near wing where a lob over the top finds Bash in the paint to put it in. Bash off the assist from Bridget Dunn. Half a dozen points for Kent State's leading scorer. Meanwhile, as Treader catches in the right lane and the turnaround goes, plus the foul, as Miami has another and one, their second in the first minute 51 of quarter number 3. 43-33 the score in favor of Kent State here on the MAC quarterfinal. Amber Treader to the free throw line, and she drills it. Sophomore to Ferdinand, Indiana, who has been a rebounding monster this year, averaging 11 and 9, and a good free throw shooter too at 74% to get the RedHawks back within 10. It's Bash on the near wing, who's from Loveland, Ohio, in Greater Cincinnati. She'll skip it up top to Bridget Dunn, who will get whacked on the arm and fouled. Treader picks up the foul, and something to keep an eye on as she gets her second is Treader, when in foul trouble, has really hurt Miami when she's not on the floor. We saw that in the Central Michigan game, Miami's penultimate home game of the season, where the RedHawks collapsed down the stretch in an overtime loss, and another foul will be called on the inside as Kent State tried to get it into the post for Tyler, and she got a shot into the numbers on the back of her jersey by Ilsa DeFries. Treader got in foul trouble in that Central Michigan game, couldn't play pretty much the entirety of the fourth quarter and overtime as she sat on the bench with 4 fouls and then picked up a 5th later on. And the RedHawks really had no answer on the interior after that. Drive up the baseline and a giveaway for Batch. RedHawks move it forward, and it is Gonzalez in the short corner on the right side. Almost wrapped it into the post. She would have turned it over. Good decision. She'll move it back outside for Chandler. Back to Gonzalez on the near wing, who hoisted up a 3 that might have been partially tipped, as it did not get anywhere close to the basket. Fell in the arms of Ilsa DeFries underneath the rim, though, and it was knocked out of bounds by Kent State. So Miami will keep it here, but that Gonzalez 3 did not get anywhere close to the rim, so just half a shot clock left to work with for Miami. Inbound to Gonzalez, far angle extended. Now near wing, it's Gonzalez that will skip it to the post for DeFries. Turnaround jumper, sticks off the front of the rim. And the rebound by Bridget Dunn and Kent State. Gray from up top. Huntington native, father was a 4-year letter winner at Marshall for the Thundering Herd, former member of the MAC. Drives it up the baseline and again lost it out of bounds. She's been running a lot of ISO ball. It was successful early on, but Miami has shored that up a little bit as they force Deanna Gray into her 4th turnover. Golden Flashes with 11 as a team to Miami's just 4, but the rebounding margin 28-18 and shooting the ball better than the RedHawks. That's allowed them to keep this 9-point lead. Treader shoulders into the paint and one-on-one. Looked like she had the space, but she got swatted, erased by Bridget Dunn, and Kent State will bring it from right to left. Into the front court, Maya Babbitt, who was a real cog in that motor that moved Kent State to a double-digit lead to close the first half. Wrapped to the far block where Rissmiller tripped and fell on the far side, and a foul is whistled, and Glenn Box has his hands to the sky and steam coming out of his ears on the Miami bench. RedHawks already up to 4 fouls in the quarter, still 6:21 to go in it. It's 43-34 Kent State here in the third from Cleveland. Inbound to Rissmiller, and did she get tied up? Nope, we have an offensive foul call, it appears, on Kent State. A lot of powder blue and gold behind the Golden Flash bench, and they're voicing their opinion, not too pleased with the call. Bit of a lighter crowd here in the early part of the women's session here on Wednesday. 2 more games following this. This is the second of 4 today. Winner of this one on to face the winner of game one, Ball State, who handled Western Michigan. Top-seeded Cardinals victors 82-53. RedHawks back to the offensive end. Chandler pull up from the free throw line, online. And the RedHawks have got it back within 7 as Chandler's got 13, and Miami continues to inch closer in the third quarter. Driving down the right side, Corinne Hauser tried to toss up a shot. That got stripped out of bounds. Excuse me, that was Megan Murray that came on for the Golden Flashes, and it'll go out of bounds. Last touched by Miami. Deanna Gray back on to take Murray's spot. Freshman from Pennsylvania. Gray deals it in, and Babbitt got a visible hack on the arm, but that came actually after she traveled, headed towards the lane. And so Babbitt will give it away for the Golden Flashes. And Miami gets a bit of a gift there as they appeared to almost commit their 5th foul of the quarter. That would have put Kent State on the free throw line. Instead, the RedHawks have it on the offensive end with a chance to get it down to 2 possessions. Chandler steps back between the circles. Heads left, finds Gonzalez. Left wing extended. Gonzalez picks up her dribble, flings it across for Tamar Singer. 7 on the timer. Singer jump stop in the lane, and she gets fouled. See if they call that a shooting foul as Singer kind of put her arm up as if she would go for a layup, and the ball just sort of rolled off her fingers. Didn't really get any height on it. Ball was probably never more than 6 feet off the ground, but they will call it a shooting foul, and that will send the freshman to the stripe. Singer, a 76% free throw shooter, but only 25 attempts in the regular season as she knocks down the first. Second one will swirl home for the Israeli freshman as well. And so that will make it a 5-point game as Miami has clawed back here in the third. 7-0 run by the RedHawks with just over 5 minutes to go in quarter 3. Dunn being tarped away at by Treader. She trips and falls. And again, it'll be a RedHawk foul that'll go against Treader with some contacts below the waist. And that's Treader's 3rd. So played good defense for about 4 seconds of time there before she committed the foul. And that's a really unfortunate one as Treader looked to be milliseconds away from forcing a turnover. Instead, it puts Bridget Dunn on the line, who is a very good free throw shooter, and she has no problem on the first one. Dunn, the senior out of Carmel, Indiana, makes them both, and it's back to 7. 45-38, the Kent State lead with 5:05 remaining in the third. Up on the white trim of the MAC logo, it's Tamar Singer, pushes it to the far side for Chandler. Back for Singer, trying to thread it into the paint, and the ball was kicked on its way in. Deflection by Kent State, and that'll bring us to a media timeout. Miami has made their way closer. Glenn Box makes his way to the official to plead his case about how a couple possessions have unfolded here late as the RedHawks have gotten in foul trouble, but the lead has shrunk for the Golden Flashes here in quarterfinal action in Cleveland. We'll be back in a moment. Flashes by 7 with under 5 to go in the third, and you're listening to the MAC Tournament. Miami Basketball on RedHawk Radio. 4:55 remaining in the third quarter. Quarterfinal action here from Cleveland as Kent State's in front of Miami 45-38. RedHawks on the offensive end following the kickball, trying to continue to push into this Kent State lead, and Gonzalez knocks down a mid-range J from the left elbow to get it back down to 5. Miami trailed by 14 at the break. RedHawks have had the much better of play here in the third quarter. Only issue is Miami's gotten into a little bit of foul trouble with their bigs, as both Richardson and Treader have 3. And Kent State will attack that, bouncing it in for Janae Tyler, who will, off balance, knock it in with her right hand. So back to a 7-point advantage. So again, Treader and Richardson with 3 for Miami, and the former of which on the floor with those 3 fouls. DeFries near side, open for 3, and hits it. Ilse DeFries hits the tray. Miami now 6 for 17 from beyond the arc, and the lead is the smallest it's been since prior to halftime, 47-43. RedHawks have come out with new life following halftime after the RedHawks had a brutal stretch down the final 7 minutes of the second quarter. Down the right side, a rainbow shot from Journey Hildebrand finds its way through. Looked like she just tossed that one up on accident, and it highballed its way through the net. Back to a 6-point lead now for Kent State. DeFries catches far short corner. Shoulders into the paint, through the contact, got a good look up, but couldn't hit it from the first hash up on the far side, and the Golden Flashes have the rebound. Gray will speed up her step as she crosses the arc, now slow down once again. On the left wing, between the legs on the dribble, trying to wrap it into the post, stolen away by Amber Treader, and she gets fouled. And a frustration foul there from Janae Tyler, who just reached in and gave a whack to Amber Treader, who poked that ball free, and that will allow Treader to walk the floor. Kent State picks up their 5th foul as a team, and Treader will get put on the free throw line. Glenn Box will send Nuria Herho up off the bench to take Angelina Gonzalez's place on the floor, and Treader will take her 2nd and 3rd free throws. Treader with 19 points in the regular season finale for Miami to get her season average up to 10.9, as Treader will knock in the first free throw. She's got 9 in this game and makes the second one as well to go with 5 rebounds, so now with 10 points, and has a chance for another double-double. 18 of them in the career of Amber Treader that spanned just 2 seasons so far for the young sophomore. 49-45 Kent State, 2:52 to go, third quarter. Hildebrand, the freshman, stutters her feet across, dishes it back up top for Gray. Lost control of the ball, got it back as she headed down the right lane, but a bit of a wild shot. Falls off the rim right side, and DeFries has the rebound for Miami. RedHawks will slow up. Glenn Box calls up a set from the bench. Chandler, drive and kick. Singer, wide open 3 from the far side. Scrapes off the top of the rim. And the rebound is picked up by Maya Babbitt for Kent State. She's been slowed down a little bit offensively, as really have much of the Golden Flashes since halftime, following their furious 21-6 run to close out the second quarter. 2:07 to go in the third. 49-45 the score with Kent State in front. Gray spinning towards the lane, and she got fouled by Nuria Herho. So the sophomore Spaniard will take a seat. And Angelina Gonzalez will come on for what was originally supposed to be her place, but now it looks like Miami is going to send off Maya Chandler as well. Or rather, instead of Nuria Herho. And so Herho will stay on the floor as Gray is at the free throw line, and she connects on the first foul shot. A lot of attempts for the guard. We've seen her be strong in the paint today. Gray with 75 attempts in the regular season, and she goes 2 for 2. Golden Flashes are the best free throw shooting team in the MAC. Second best in terms of free throws made per game in the league. 10th in the country in free throw percentage. From the far side, Angelina Gonzalez pulls up from the mid-range and scraped it off the backside of the rim. Rebound picked up by Kent State, who lead by 6, and now to the offensive end. Gray, poked at from behind by Herho, keeps possession of the ball, goes up the baseline. Her kick-out attempt got deflected. Still found Hildebrand stepping into a 3, but that'll pop out of the well. And Amber Trenner's got the board for Miami. RedHawks trying to go quick. Singer scooped it out for Tretter, who fakes the 3. Now Miami will slow up. Gonzalez, diagonal across the paint to the near side. Finger roll for the right block. Doesn't go. Tipped out of bounds on the rebound. I believe they're going to get a foul here. And it'll be against Amber Tretter, and that is her 4th. So the same problem Miami had in that Central Michigan game. The only difference is they had a big lead in the game against the Chippewas last week. They do not have one here today. They're down 6, and they'll have to play without Amber Tretter for the time being, with still 1:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. Kent State leading 51-45, and Maya Babbitt is at the free throw line. Babbitt didn't have enough on the first free throw attempt. For Kent State, they are now 10 for 13 from the stripe. Janae Tyler has taken 6 of those free throws. Make it a 1 for 2 trip for Babbitt as she knocks down the second. And it is a 7-point Golden Flash lead with 68 ticks remaining in the 3rd. Miami could really use some offensive output here from Maya Chandler and Angelina Gonzalez. The two exchange a handoff. It is Gonzalez into the paint. Looked as if she'd try it from the mid-range. Instead, she'll kick it out, and Tamar Singer beautifully found her on the back door, but it went between her hands and out of bounds. Tamar Singer, who's been an assist machine for Miami, with a really nice pass there to Gonzalez, but she couldn't handle it under the bucket. And it will go out of bounds and back to Kent State following just the 5th turnover for the RedHawks. Nuria Herho's trip to the bench was short. She's back on to take Tamar Singer's place. 53.3 to go in the 3rd. See how Kent State plays this time-wise, maybe going after a 2-and-1 situation. They're going to go a little slow for now. It is Tyler just inside the arc on the right wing, being prodded away at by DeFries. Now she'll try the drive. Double teamed on the edge of the paint, kicks it out. Hildebrand's 3 goes way wide of the basket and out of bounds. And it'll be RedHawk ball with 34.2 seconds to go. So Miami can virtually hold for the final shot here. RedHawks still with 3 timeouts. Kent State with all 4 as Miami will inbound it. And Tamar Singer will bring it up the floor on the right wing. Now she'll bound it across to the far side. Shot and game clock separated by about 3.5 seconds. Chandler between the circles. Dribbles right. Now heads left. Step back. 2 from the elbow. Won't go. Tipped out of bounds and off of Miami. As Ilse DeFries got her right hand on the basketball, and it looked like did throw that off the leg of Bridget Dunn, but it might have taken a ricochet off of DeFries once again as it headed out of bounds, as that is the call on the floor to give Kent State one final chance for a shot here in the 3rd. 52-45 Golden Flashes. Into the front court goes Gray with 7. On the right wing, steps it now between the circles with 4. Crossover dribble at the nail with 2. Steps through and gets fouled on the first hash of the left lane with 1.4 seconds to go in the 3rd. Herho gets her 2nd. And Miami just really struggled to defend without fouling early on. It wasn't an issue before they were sending Kent State to the free throw line, but once the Flashes got to the bonus, which is something they do very well, better than anybody else in the MAC, they have made the RedHawks pay for it, and the first free throw swirls in for Deanna Gray. Gray's got 6 points. Felt like a whole lot more the amount of time she's had the ball in her hands, and make it 7 with the second free throw make. See if Miami's got something in the cards for one last heave. DeFries finds Corey Lard, and she won't even get a shot off. as she was standing on the defensive three-point arc. And Miami unable to get one up at the buzzer. The RedHawks will head into the final 10 minutes of regulation time, trailing by 9. Overall, Miami comes out positive, outscoring Kent State 20-15 in the third, but they are still fighting an uphill battle as we head to the fourth quarter here from Rocket Arena. Quarterfinal action of the MAC tournament, winner on to face Ball State in the semis on Friday. After 3 quarters from Cleveland, it is Kent State 54 and Miami 45. Fourth quarter on the way when we come back. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Ten minutes to play here from Rocket Arena in Cleveland in the quarterfinal 4-5 game at the MAC tournament. 4th-seeded Kent State leads 5th-seeded Miami 54-45 with 10 minutes to go. RedHawks did get the lead back into single digits in the third after trailing by 14 at the half, and now playing for their season over the final 10 minutes right now. Kent State starts on the offensive end, and a fadeaway from the far side of the paint by Janae Tyler. Falls nowhere close, but she does get fouled by Katie Richardson, and that is a big, big problem for Miami, as that is her 4th. Amber Treader already sitting with 4 fouls for Miami, as she picked up her 4th with 1:16 to go in the third quarter. And so both of Miami's main rim protectors sitting on 4 fouls. Tyler won't get the bounce on the first free throw. And Kent State 10th in the country in terms of free throw percentage, but Tyler misses both, as that's some bad luck. Both of those dropped partway down, but didn't fall for her. And now the RedHawks have their first possession of the fourth. Freshman Tamar Singer off a screen set by Richardson on the right side. She'll now bounce it for Richardson, 5 feet to her left. Dribble handoff. Gonzalez between the circles now. Treader hands off. Gonzalez to the left elbow. Jumper from there doesn't go, but a foul against Kent State. Question is, was that on the rebound or the shot? Seems to be some indecision about that, as both teams were lining up at the free throw line Angelina Gonzalez was heading there, but the officials do confirm what looked to be more likely, that the foul was against Kent State as the teams are trying to rebound, and so Miami will inbound instead from the baseline. Singer connects with Chandler, drive to the free throw line, and she will hook it left for Gonzalez. Her cross-court pass attempt, though, deflected away from Singer and into the arms of JT Shoemate on the Miami bench. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the RedHawks with half the shot clock remaining. 9:16 to go, fourth quarter. 54-45, Kent State in front of Miami. The defending MAC champions hoping to meet up with top-seeded Ball State on Friday. Chandler, a right wing three, she's got it. Defense just backed off Maya Chandler, and you'd think they would have learned by that point. She's made 4 from beyond the arc, leading Miami with 16 points. It's a 6-point Golden Flash lead with just over a minute gone in the fourth quarter. Gray climbs the baseline, trying to go up and under, threw it off the bottom of the bucket. Rebound to Singer, and she got fouled. And that, for sure, a frustration foul from Gray, as Singer was just carrying it in the open court. And Gray will pick up her second foul. Couple of quick ones for Kent State here in the fourth, after Miami got the flashes in the bonus early in the third. Richardson, short corner left, shoulders up the paint, goes up and under, and rattles it through. It's back down to 4. Katie Richardson, who has played some huge minutes in this game, still out there with 4 fouls. Miami's got to play that way at the moment, and she collects her second basket. Babbitt to the near side for Dunn. She will kick it up top, where Gray misses on a 3. Offensive rebound, and a putback won't go for Dunn, and we get a stoppage after another Kent State offensive rebound, and I think they're going to look at the clock here.
Timeout on the floor.
And so both teams will go to their benches, as the official on the far side signaled right away that he wanted to take another look. They, I assume, would be looking at whether or not that latest Kent State shot attempt after the first offensive rebound hit the rim, which would constitute the shot clock being reset to 20. Didn't look like live, though. It got rim, and Kent State got another offensive board just cleanly as Dunn had the ball with her back to the basket on the near edge of the paint after catching the missed shot. Shot clock did not reset. If I'm Todd Starkey, I may not be super pleased, even though this replay would technically be trying to help me if they reset the shot clock here, that they took another look at this, because Dunn appeared that she might be able to just turn around and score, and instead, Kent State will now have to reset their offense. And they will likely inbound. Officials have dispersed from the monitor, and now each huddle is getting their explanation.
18 seconds to shoot.
And as we expected, upon review, they're not going to change anything, as that second shot did not hit the rim, and so the shot clock will stay at 18. It was a putback attempt, so it really wouldn't have saved the Golden Flashes much time anyway. They're showing Coach Box's daughter up on the Jumbotron right now at Rocket Arena. 54-50, the Golden Flashes lead with 8:03 to go in the fourth. Kent State has won for their last 7 from the field as they've started this quarter cold. However, the Golden Flashes built up the big lead. If you're just joining us and missed how the early goings went, both teams really went stride for stride in the first quarter, with neither opening up a lead more than a couple possessions. It was Kent State that had a 1-2 possession lead for the first 5 minutes or so, and then for the next 8 minutes roughly of the first half, Miami led by between 2 and 4 points throughout. But the Golden Flashes would close the first half on a 21-6 run, in which they just pummeled the RedHawks heading into the locker room. It culminated in a buzzer-beating three-pointer off a broken play that really felt like it just summed the whole thing up, as The RedHawks were swarming out near half court on Deanna Gray, and she somehow got rid of it and found Bridget Dunn, who was wide open, and drilled a three at the buzzer. That sent Miami to the room, down 14. RedHawks have since cut it back down to 4 after they outscored Kent State 20-15 in quarter number 3. And the Golden Flashes still without a point here in quarter number 4, trying to get there first as they come out of this timeout on offense. 54-50, Kent State leading Miami, 8:03 to go in at the fourth quarter. Inbound for the near side baseline, Golden Flashes will lob it up top. Gray, bounce pass for Dunn, left elbow, slings to the far side for Gray. 8 on the timer. Gray moves her way in, right elbow jumper, won't go. Kent State gets an offensive board, putback attempt, falls off from Tyler, and Miami will finally get the rebound. Kent State has owned the glass, but can't make the RedHawks pay that time. 7:36 to go in the fourth. Miami can cut it to one possession. Chandler on the far side, thought about the drive, she'll step it back. Now she will side swipe to the elbow, finds Richardson, mid-range jumper, airballed strong. Hard collision between Batch and Gonzalez, the two leading scorers on the backside, or rather that was Babbitt for Kent State. Both of them get to their feet as meanwhile Kent State playing 4-on-4 the other way, and we get a foul before a shot attempt by Tyler. And that's Katie Richardson's foul, and that's her 5th. Or I beg your pardon, that'll just be her 4th. So made a mistake earlier on. Richardson with 4 fouls now, so that'll help Miami a little bit as Richardson hasn't quite fouled out just yet, but with 7:13 to go, RedHawks will bring on Ilse de Vries to take her spot. Inbound comes to Hildebrand. She will bowl into the paint and kick back to the outside. Babbitt now up the baseline, draws the foul. Maya Chandler picks it up for the RedHawks as they get called for their 2nd foul on this possession. And the possession will continue for Kent State with an inbound straight away for Tyler. Gray feeds Babbitt. Step back, 3 in the air, in and out. Rebound by Tamar Singer for Miami. Singer surveys the floor, bounces it to the block, and it got tipped off the foot of Gray on its way in. A kickball is whistled. 6:49 to go, inching towards crunch time here at Rocket Arena. Kent State leading Miami 54-50. RedHawks have not led since the first half. Between the circles, a near side feed between Singer and Chandler, but she can't connect on the triple from the wing, and Kent State's got the rebound. Gray to the far side for the freshman Corinne Hauser. Hauser cutting left and right. Deals back across for Gray. Quick jet to the basket, goes up the baseline, bounces it to the MAC logo, which is touched straight away for a 3 by Dunn, and she can't hit it. Rebound by Treader and the RedHawks. Singer down the right wing, scoops it to Vries. Now Treader just underneath the three-point arc straight away, hands off Singer to the left elbow, looking for an option, finds Gonzalez far side, her 3, off the front of the iron. And the rebound by Bridget Dunn, who will hand for Deanna Gray for Kent State. 54-50 our score. Both teams have gone cold. Golden Flashes still have not scored here in the fourth quarter. But Miami has not made them pay for it over the last couple possessions as the lead has stayed at 4. Hildebrand steps left off a screen. Motors to the block, tosses up a wild shot. Got it up on the rim, but it didn't fall. And Ilse de Vries has the rebound for Miami. Numbers ahead for the RedHawks. Gonzalez, shot fake, up the baseline, bounces for Treader, 5-foot jumper, doesn't go. Rebound almost fell into the hands of Gonzalez, but it was knocked away by Dunn, and the Golden Flashes end up with it. Another stop for Kent State, and this lead remains at 2 possessions. 5:02 to go, 54-50, Kent State in front. And an offensive foul whistled against the Golden Flashes as they were getting ready to set something up. And that will send us to a timeout on the floor. We got a good one. Todd Starkey going into the huddle, trying to get his team some points. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter for Miami. They have trimmed it down to a 4-point game. We're getting close to the finish line. Final 5 minutes on the way when we come back. 4:58 remaining. It's 54-50. Kent State at the 2025 Mid-American Conference Tournament. You're listening to Miami Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. .458 to go, fourth quarter. Kent State 54, Miami 50. Our score. Golden Flash's last points came at the end of the third. They haven't scored in 5 minutes and 3 seconds after that near buzzer beater to close out quarter number 3. RedHawks, though, have been unable to clip more into this lead lately as they've gone cold as well. And coming out of the timeout, Angelina Gonzalez with a mid-range jumper from the free throw line. That will bounce off the rim, no good. Kent State's got the rebound. What does Todd Starkey have for his team coming out of the break? Up top, Bridget Dunn pivoting back and forth, finds Gray on the far side, alone for a moment. Now she'll slip it into the paint, and a foul called as Janae Tyler trying to go up for the shot. Ilsa DeFries picks up the foul. That is her third. But for the RedHawks, you just feel fortunate at this juncture that it wasn't Amber Treader, the other RedHawk forward on the floor, that picked up the foul. She's got 4. DeFries will go take a seat. Tyler to the free throw line. Missed 2 of 2 her last time there. She got some unlucky bounces that time. She gets a lucky one this time, so it'll start to balance out for her as it goes off the backboard and in on the first. Katie Richardson comes back onto the floor with 4 fouls to replace Ilsa DeFries. So the 2 RedHawk bigs out there have 4 as Tyler watches the ball 360 the rim, no good on the second free throw. 5-point Kent State lead, 4:15 remaining in regulation. Short corner on the far side, Richardson finds Chandler, off-balance jumper, hits off the back rim and flies out for a rebound by Deanna Gray in Kent State. Miami has gone ice cold. They continue to stifle this Kent State offense, which is high-powered, but can't do anything with it if they can't cut into the lead. Gray goes up and under off the feed by Tyler and scores. And finally, the first field goal for the Golden Flashes with over 6 minutes gone in the quarter. Treader now a right wing three. That'll bounce up, and Angelina Gonzalez sticks her nose in there to fight for the rebound. She gets tied up. But with the jump ball, possession arrow is in favor of the RedHawks, and they will keep it off the rebounding effort by Angelina Gonzalez. 2 boards, both of them on the offensive glass in the game. Inbound straight away, Chandler an open three, can't connect on it, out of bounds, it'll stay with Miami. As Amber Treader was surrounded in a box by 4 white jerseys, and one of them got it on its way out of bounds. Inbound comes to Treader, extra to the flank. Chandler steps inside the arc, long 2 up, off the rim, falls off, and Bridget Dunn rips away the rebound for Kent State. Miami has struggled in fourth quarters to score the basketball, and despite their best defensive efforts we've seen all day, the trend on the other side of the floor has continued. 57-50 Kent State, 3:08 to play. Jenna Batch has been very quiet today. Secondary scores have not, though, for Kent State. Into a left wing three by Bridget Dunn. She will miss it left. And Tamar Singer up ahead for Miami. Finds Trenner over the top to lay it in. And finally, the RedHawks can do something offensively as Treader puts it home with the right hand. And she's got 12. Back to a 5-point ball game with 2:40 to play. Batch holding, left angle extended, steps off a screen, has a mismatch on Richardson, steps back on her, takes a long 2 and hits it. 5 feet under the free throw line from Jenna Batch, and you see the talent from the senior, averages 17 a game. She knocks it down, just 8 in this one, but that's a big time shot. Timeout Kent State with 2:31 to play. They lead it by 7. 59-52 our score. Miami will take it to the offensive end when play resumes. Think back to some games for the RedHawks that just felt so winnable. You think back to Central Michigan and the first Buffalo game on the road for the RedHawks. And games somewhat similar to this in that it's tight in the fourth quarter, and you just go an extended stretch where you can't buy a bucket, and over that time, in Buffalo's case, they opened up a large lead. In the case of the Central Michigan game, they clawed their way back to tie it before winning in overtime. And that has been the case here today as Miami has just 7 points here in the fourth quarter with 2:27 to go in it, trailing by 7. Richardson, right wing three, pops off the orange, rebound by Kent State, and done. Not a bad look. Maybe not who you wanted to take it, though, if you're Miami. 59-52, the Golden Flashes lead. Todd Starkey's going to have his team slow this one up. Gray just carrying it around the front court right now. Ends up on the far side where she'll dish it off to her left for Batch. Out to the logo goes Batch. Steps inside. The arc has it stolen away. 2-on-1 ahead for the RedHawks. Chandler down the left side, got swatted by Dunn. Chandler off the bounce pass from Singer. Couldn't finish it as Dunn whacked her away under the basket, and now Singer will pick up a foul. And that might have been one of frustration as the RedHawks headed back up the floor, as Singer will commit the 5th team foul for Miami, and that will put Deanna Gray at the free throw line. Deanna Gray will shoot 2. The small 5'4" guard has a chance for a double-double. What a game it's been for her. 9 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists with 2 free throws upcoming. Long pause as the officials met. Could see an annoyed look on the face of Gray. Just wants to get her free throws up, and she connects on the first. It's an 8-point lead with 1:44 to go. Gray's second in the air and off the mark. Katie Richardson on the rebound for the RedHawks. Singer up the left wing. Singer Races baseline, threw it away, looking for Trenner in the corner. Batch got in the way to intercept. And Kent State can smell it now as the RedHawks not pressing. Miami will now pick up some pressure with the Golden Flashes having possession in the front court. And Batch is going to blow by, bounce it to the near side. Wide open two, knocked down by Maya Babbitt. And it's a 10-point Kent State lead with 1:17 to go in the fourth quarter. Timeout called by Glenn Box in Miami. And wouldn't you believe it, after starting the fourth quarter, going 6 minutes without a point, Kent State holds tall on the other end defensively, and the Golden Flashes now outscoring Miami here in the final period, 8-7, and they lead at 62-52 with 1:17 to go. This is a Kent State team that finished a little below expectations, got a couple first place votes in preseason, but finished fourth after being picked second. There's nothing they would love more than to upset the Ball State Cardinals, the top seed, and deliver the Cards another disappointing end to their season after a dominant regular year, as Kent State won in the MAC tournament last season. Got to hold up over the final minute 15. Comfortable 10-point lead, though, for the Golden Flashes. Singer heads left around to screen. Stopping between the circles to the near corner, it's Chandler. Climbs up the baseline, goes up and under, draws the foul, and it goes off a couple bounces. And so Chandler will have a chance for a three-point play. And a pretty quick possession there for Miami. We will likely see them pick some pressure up here in the full court with 1:06 to go in the game. Lead down to 8 with Chandler getting ready to shoot one free throw. And she nails it. 7-point game with 1:06 remaining. Miami picks up pressure. Dunn catches the inbound, dribbling it down the right side, tripped and fell. Still, though, able to find Babbitt, who gets fouled and will go to the free throw line. Gonzalez gets her first. She is the final RedHawk to record minutes to get their first foul until the moment now where Lucretia Edwards checks into the game for Nuria Herho. And now two free throws coming up here for Maya Babbitt. And you're at the point where you're going to have to start praying for misses if you're Miami, and Babbitt connects the first one. Second one up, and good. Big game for Babbitt, one of 4 Golden Flashes in double figures, and none of them Jenna Batch. Really impressive offensive output for Kent State in this game. Gonzalez works up the near side and lays it in from the left block. Timeout by Glenn Box in Miami, as it's a 64-57 game with 49.2 seconds to go. Offensively for the Golden Flashes, well below the season average. It's not going to look like the greatest performance on paper, but when you see who did it and how well Miami did it, limiting Jenna Batch, the first-team All-MAC selection, who had just 8 points, under half of her season average, and collected 4 fouls. Really impressive secondary scoring from this Golden Flashes team. Winner will play 2 days from now. You'll get a day off before you will play in just under 48 hours. It will be a 10 a.m. start between Ball State and the winner of this one on Friday morning. That will start the session, the first session of the MAC tournament that includes both men's and women's games. Kent State trying to hang on here as the Golden Flashes will advance the ball, and Miami will either not get out of bounds or commit a foul. The officials are going to discuss here, and it is a foul against Maya Chandler. So she'll get her third, and that'll send Jenna Batch to the free throw line and a chance to pad some stats and put the game away here for Batch. Hit 1,000 points earlier this season. Glenn Box is going to make a sub. Batch, a third-team All-MAC selection last year. Was a top 10 scorer in the Mid-American Conference and really came out of nowhere after she averaged 3 points as a sophomore. She's now had her second really strong season in a row for Kent State. Hits the first free throw. Played at ECC powerhouse Loveland High School in the Cincinnati area, just about an hour from Oxford. She's made her way to the far corner of the state up here near Cleveland for college ball. She goes 2 for 2 at the line. Glenn Box will call his penultimate timeout, and it will be a full timeout to send the teams to their benches. 48.6 seconds to go, and Kent State has made their free throws. This is not a team that you want to trail against, as if you get into the foul game, that is not a winning recipe against the Golden Flash team that is the best free throw shooting team in the conference and 10th best nationally. And that has been the case for Miami, and this one is they have allowed Kent State to shoot 17 more free throws than they. 26 on the game for Kent State. 66-57 the score with the Golden Flashes in front, 48.6 seconds to go. 2 more games on the docket today on the women's side in the first day of the MAC Championship. 30 minutes after this one, second-seeded Toledo takes on 7th-seeded Central Michigan, and then following that, the nightcap, number 3 Buffalo and number 6 Bowling Green. Keep an eye on that Bulls team as maybe a sleeper to knock off Ball State, try and win the league. They'll be on the other side of the bracket, would not meet Ball State till the championship if they would get there. Buffalo went into MAC play undefeated, only team that could say that. Ended up not fully going undefeated in non-conference play as they lost their second game of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, but that is a very good Bulls team that thumped Miami a couple weeks ago. RedHawks have it back in, got to go quick here, and trying to sidestep around a defender. Lucretia Edwards travels, and that'll give it back to Kent State, and that'll pretty much be the nail in the coffin for this Miami team, as Glenn Box is going to again make a slew of defensive subs. Corey Lard, Angelina Gonzalez, and Nuria Herhoan. The first and third of those for the RedHawks strong defenders. Off the inbound, Jenna Bash off and running into the open court. And she will catch it beyond half court. Miami's got a foul here. Batch just dribbling it around. And finally she'll give it up for Maya Babbitt, who will get whacked in the arm by Nuria Herho. And Babbitt will go to the free throw line with 34.5 seconds to go. So for Kent State, in just about 35 seconds of game time, they will head on to the MAC semifinals. Place where they defeated Ball State last year. They'll have to do it again here this season. Cardinals had 2 of the more dominant seasons in recent memory in the MAC the last 2 years, but could not win the MAC championship last year. Kent State hoping to again spoil their hopes this season as Babbitt misses the first free throw. Second one in her hands and won't go either. And what have we here? An errant whistle.
Inadvertent whistle. Miami ball.
It is confirmed it's just an inadvertent whistle, so not sure what happened there, but the official on the near side blew the whistle. No reason to do it. So the RedHawks will have to inbound, and now we'll bring it up the floor. Gonzalez from the far side. Miami down 9. Got to get a 3 up here, you'd think, as Chandler drives in, fakes, leans down the right side, and kisses it off the window and in. Timeout Kent State with 21.3 seconds to go. 66-59. The Golden Flashes in front as Todd Starkey calls his second to last timeout. And so his team leading by 7 with the shot clock off. Will have to just avoid the steal here and they will be fine. Coming at you tomorrow for Miami men's basketball here on Red Hawk Radio as Looks like, unfortunately, the RedHawk women's season will come to an end momentarily. But Glenn Box in year 2, trying to rebuild this program. He's a year behind Travis Steele, who's in his 3rd season. And we saw a tremendous jump from year 2 to year 3 after back-to-back losses in the opening round of the MAC tournament for Miami. Travis Steele's RedHawks on the men's side are the 2nd seed and will play their MAC tournament opening game against 7th-seeded Eastern Michigan. That is a team that Miami handled at home without Ian Elmer, which was a great sign. However, the real stretch of the season, the real one stretch of the season where Miami showed some consistent beatability was on a road trip to Michigan, in which they fell to Eastern on the road. A scrappy, well-coached Eastern Michigan team. As Kent State's going to turn it over here, but Miami will turn it over right back off the inbound, and Deanna Gray will get fouled. So the RedHawks will face off against the Eagles on the men's side. That's the 2-7 game tomorrow at approximately 4 o'clock Eastern time. 4 games here on the women's side today, 4 on the men's side tomorrow, and then it'll be 2 women's games followed by 2 men's games on Friday, and the title games on Saturday. Deanna Gray will go to the free throw line. Miami got the steal they were looking for, but tried to throw a Hail Mary play up the floor without much time, and Deanna Gray intercepted it and drew the foul. She cannot hit her first free throw, though. And as well as Kent State has shot the free throw all season and in this game, they have struggled to truly and mathematically put this one to bed, and Gray misses the second one.
30-second timeout, Miami.
So Glenn Box calls timeout. 14.5 seconds to go. RedHawks still trail it by 7. And man, these missed free throws really just compounding the pain I'm sure that Miami feels on the other side. And that Kent State has just not been able to score here in the 4th quarter, and Miami just couldn't take advantage. Golden Flashes 3 for 12 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, and they've missed 8 out of their 14 free throws. And for a Miami team that prides themselves on their defense, pretty good here in the 4th quarter. But for the RedHawks, you just needed to take advantage. You did early on in the quarter, but the offense has just come to a screeching halt at the worst time for the RedHawks. Ball's advanced for Miami. They've got no timeouts left. Inbound to Maya Chandler. Downhill on the right side of the paint. Puts it in off the window. And a timeout called by Todd Starkey and Kent State. That's his last timeout. That'll allow Kent State to advance the ball. 10.4 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. And maybe not done yet if you're Miami, as you're down 5, and you could still theoretically hear foul, get a 1 of 2 at the free throw line from Kent State, and be within 2 possessions. Both teams out of timeout, so they'll play out this final 10.4. 66-61, the Kent State lead. Trying to take the season series and move on to the semifinals. And Golden Flashes have played well, but when it came time to really put this game away, they have struggled to get their foot on the gas. Inbound on the near side will come from Journey Hildebrand. We saw Kent State turn it over in this spot last time. See if they can keep control of the basketball here. Running out of time. Hildebrand rushes it in to Gray, who gets fouled with 8.9 seconds to go. Miami oh so close to the 5-second call there, but in the nick of time, Hildebrand got rid of it, and Maya Chandler will commit the foul on Deanna Gray, who looks like might have got scraped up and has some blood potentially, so looks like maybe on her face a potential nosebleed, so she has to go and get that looked at before she can take these free throws. 8.9 seconds to go. Gray will take the shots. 2 of them on the way for Kent State. So Gray comes back out. She'll take the free throws to the applause of the Kent State faithful and band who've made the short journey. Gray's been at the line a lot tonight, and she makes the first free throw. She's one of 2 golden flashes with double-digit attempts from the charity stripe. She's made 7 out of 11. Jamae Tyler 6 for 10, the other one. And she makes them both, crucially, as it's a 3-possession game now with 9 seconds left. And Tamar Singer will carry it up the floor, jack up a 3, and won't hit it. Rebound to Tyler, and the horn will sound. Well, the RedHawks gave themselves a chance down the stretch, but Miami just unable to put the ball in the hoop. And despite the best defensive efforts from this RedHawks team, unable to clip into that Golden Flash lead in the 4th quarter, and Kent State hangs on in the 4-5 game of the MAC tournament to advance on to the semifinals. A 68-61 final and quarterfinal action here on this Wednesday afternoon from Rocket Arena. Tears and hugs on the Miami side. It's now that time of year for this RedHawks team, who sees year 2 under Glenn Box come to a close. Miami finishes the season 19-11. RedHawks made some very significant strides here this year, as the RedHawks picked up their first winning season since pre-pandemic, advanced to the MAC tournament to play here in Cleveland for the first time since 2020. It is Miami's first winning season since the year prior, 2018-19, the last time the RedHawks had a winning campaign. But for the RedHawks, it will end here this afternoon against Kent State. So again, Glenn Box will be back for year 3. He's brought in another strong recruiting class, but this team took a huge step in his 2nd year. And if they can do anything like that, going from the 2nd to 3rd season under Box in his first Division I head coaching job, we might see this Miami team playing a year from now on to Friday and Saturday, but only time will tell. Well, we thank you so much for tuning in with us both today and all season long, of course, to Miami women's basketball. We'll still be with you for more action from Cleveland. The Miami men's team is in action tomorrow. 2nd-seeded RedHawks will take on Eastern Michigan at approximately 4 o'clock Eastern time in the 3rd game of the 4-game session to begin men's hoops action at the MAC tournament tomorrow. We hope you'll tune into us then. And so for now, we will say so long. Special thank you goes out to Jeremy Guy at the league office for getting us set up here in Cleveland. And of course, the First Class Sports Info staff at Miami, led by Dave Meyer, Assistant Director of Athletic Communications, and the women's basketball SID. Tim Carey, Lamar Connard deserve shout-outs as well for all the work they do for us, both in terms of women's basketball and everything else related to our coverage here at Red Hawk Radio. So for one final time this season, so long. Thanks for tuning into this presentation of Miami women's basketball on Red Hawk Radio. We will talk to you in early November for year 3 of the Glenn Box era. Next school year, Wes Poley saying goodbye from Rocket Arena. Tune in for men's action tomorrow afternoon. And again, thanks for tuning in all year long.